tissue splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your tissue splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX. J-Way. I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless. I'm gone. Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck. Into the trends. See a lead, be the band.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Postgame Podcast. We are here for a post-game report. The Detroit Pistons fall to the New York Knicks 128-98. They lose by 30 points. I was in the building last night, and it was pretty bad from the start. This is probably our first really bad blowout this year. I feel like most of the games have been, down to the wire almost, but yeah, this one definitely was not close and down to the wire. And to kind of wrap it up with a bow, I mean, the Pistons couldn't stop anybody. Jalen Brunson had 36 points. I think that I thought he might go for 50. And and then Towns had 21, Anunoby got 21. It was a pretty balanced effort as far as the starters were concerned. The bench didn't do a whole lot, but the starters definitely had their way with us. We couldn't stop anything. If it was ever evident that we were missing Asar Thompson, it definitely reared its ugly head yesterday. And Jalen Duren, I don't know what's going on with him. He played 18 minutes yesterday. And he just wasn't. I don't know. We could definitely use some of that size. Towns, made it look pretty easy. Stewart did the best that he could, but Jalen Duren has got to be doing more out there. And it was rough. It was a rough ball game. I mean, as far as shooting wise, we shot 50% from the field. So I mean, scoring wasn't necessarily the problem. Cade led the way with 22, but our next starter had 13, and you just can't have that in this day and age, especially when you got two superstars on the other side. Ivy had his first bad game of the year. He only had 10 points. Beasley had a pretty rough game, only had 8 points. Fontecchio finally woke up. He was 5 or 7 and had 2 threes. But yeah, overall, we didn't shoot well from 3. Tim Hardaway, regressed after having some pretty good games. He shot 28% from 3. Beasley shot 2 for 6. But yeah, we shot 33% from 3, and they shot 47% from 3. So, Jalen Brunson went 6 for 8. So, yeah. What else we got going on? Yeah, we gave up a lot of second chance opportunities as well. I believe they had 12 offensive rebounds. 12 offensive rebounds to our 6, so they doubled us up in that department, and that definitely hurt us as well. But ultimately, Cade was out there playing by himself. Like I said, the next highest scorer had 13, and that was Tobias Harris. Tobias shot pretty efficiently from the field, but it's tough when you give up 130 points. Yeah, we couldn't stop anybody. I mean, they were making everything. It was crazy. Got to see Paul Reed out there. He had 5 points. He had 2 blocks, some steals. I would love to see him get some more playing time. He looked pretty good. I mean, albeit in garbage time, but he can play some defense. The one block he got was on Towns, and he put up some pretty good resistance out there. Let's see who we got in the building. Yeah, Mr. My City, embarrassing, absolutely. I was in the building for that one, man. I follow the Knicks pretty tough. So it was bittersweet. Got to watch the Knicks play well, but I would have loved for it to be a closer game. But yeah, Paul. Jalen Duren, he's looked good at times, mostly on the offensive side of things. His game really hasn't evolved much. He's pretty much still a guy that he's pretty much still a guy that scores out of that dunker spot. When Cade's finding him on alley oops, that's when he's playing his best. But there's not much more to his game than that. And defensively, just for whatever reason, he just hasn't been able to do much. Occasionally, he will flash. He will flash some of his athleticism and get a nice block, but for the most part, teams just have their way with him. He gets in foul trouble because he, doesn't know how to set a screen. I don't know how else to put it. He wasn't in foul trouble last night. He only had one foul. Maybe we needed some fouls. Nobody had more than 2 fouls last night. Ivy had 2, and we had Stewart had 2. Even Stewart only had 2 fouls, but yeah, maybe we needed to foul somebody because it's kind of wild that nobody had over 2 fouls and most people had 1 foul. Let's look at the turnovers. The Pistons turned the ball over 22 times, and they had 9 turnovers. Once again, the turnovers kill us out there. I don't know how many points they scored off of turnovers, but I would venture to say they were able to convert on some. Mr. My City says, sad to say, but Duren is not it. Defensively, he has gifts. Offensively, defensively, he has gifts offensively, but defense is below subpar. Yeah, absolutely. And he is a monster. That is a big guy. But it just goes to show that it's not all athleticism. And you said, why are you on early today? I don't know. It's hard for me to sleep in on Saturdays. Hard for me to sleep in any day. But I didn't feel like I was kind of kicking it and having fun last night. So I did not want to do a post game last night. So here I am early in the morning, giving you guys a little recap. But yeah. Of course, tomorrow we'll be up early again doing a pregame for the Lions, and a postgame for the Lions later on. And the spirit will hopefully be much stronger in that effort than the Pistons. So, yeah. But yeah, 22 turnovers. So we triple. What is that? Triple their 9 turnovers. 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, so not quite triple, but we certainly doubled them up and some on the turnover side of things. But yeah, they were knocking it down from 3. Everybody got active. 3 for 5 from Anunoby, 3 for 6 from Towns, 3 for 6 from Bridges, 6 of 8 from Brunson. Yeah, they were knocking it down from 3, and we were not. I mean, I can't say. Yeah, did I get that right? Yeah. Yeah. We shot 32% from 3. Hardaway is so. I mean, his shots look good. He had some good open looks. He's just going to be spotty. He's just going to be spotty from 3. Um, yeah, a lot of the guys that shot inefficiently from 3 were the bench guys. Reed missed 1, Jenkins missed 1, Holland missed 2. The starters were decently efficient, but the turnovers kill us. I mean, we shot 50% from the field. That's great, actually. Mr. My City, I got those laughed out. The gym vibes last night. Oh yeah, Newark has had our number for years. I'm sick of it. Yeah, and there was tons of Knicks fans in the building. Tons of Knicks fans. I was surrounded by Knicks fans. It was kind of wild. But yeah, it wasn't close for the entirety of the game. It was not close. Yeah, I mean, you're watching on the YouTube, so you can just look at the disappointed faces of our starters on the bench. It was not a fun game, and hopefully, I mean, this is obviously coming off a nice win in in Philly, but hopefully we can bounce back. Hopefully this is not a tale of things to come. Because like I said, we have not been getting blown out in a lot of these games. Brooklyn's coming in on Sunday, and another New York team, but that's actually in Brooklyn, by the way. I just thought about that. The game is in Brooklyn, but hopefully we can get back on the winning path. Because Brooklyn's not that good. But let's take a look at what their Brooklyn's record actually is. See if we can find them on the scoreboard. Okay, they beat the Bulls last night. They have a 3-3 record. Let's see who balled out. I heard Dennis Schroeder's been balling. No, he had 9 last night. But Cam Thomas is filling it up. 32 from Cam. Claxton comes off the bench. Interesting. Ben Simmons had 8, 8, and 11. Wow. 2 blocks. Okay. All right. Let's take a quick, disgusting. Let's take a quick, I'll be back after the break. Yeah, that was bad, June. June says disgusting. Absolutely. Mr. My City says if we don't beat Brooklyn, it's going to be a show. All right, it's going to be a shit show. I try not to cuss online, but it is going to be a shit show for the rest of the year. Schroeder has helped them with intangibles so far. Yeah. I was looking at his numbers. He didn't have many points last night, but from what I've been watching, he's been playing pretty well. Let's look at his numbers here. Schroeder is averaging 22 points and 8 assists. Wow. That's pretty good. Hopefully he can redeem himself and get that big contract, because he definitely dropped the bag or fumbled the bag when he could have got paid by the Lakers. Let's see what the Bulls did. Oh, Vucevic had 28. Levine had 21. Cody White had 21. Yeah, they scored a boatload of points last night. Dang. I thought Matas Buzelis would be cracking the rotation already, but he's really not playing that much. Yeah, so I mean, last night was pretty bad. It definitely left a bad taste in my mouth, but hopefully we don't have a lot of games like this. I mean, the Knicks are supposed to be a pretty good team. They got smoked by the Celtics, but they turned around and beat the crap out of the Pacers. Cade going for 40 tomorrow. I hope so. I certainly hope so. And I hope somebody helps him. You know, it's going to be a reoccurring thing that I'm going to say all year. If we're hitting our threes, we are going to be successful. And if we are not, we're not. Because it's obviously we're going to have to outscore teams right now, because and I honestly think that the return of Asar Thompson is going to help everybody else immensely. When you look, I feel like I took some numbers down. But no, there's a there's a stat out there as far as our defensive rating when Asar Thompson is on the court. And it's much higher, of course. I think he's going to help Durant out. I think he's going to help everybody else out, because we are kind of lacking defensively in the starting rotation. So, but I have no idea when Asar is going to come back, and if he's going to come back. I hate to say if, but it's just, I don't know, kind of weird. Like you said, exactly. If they ever let Asar play, which of course take your take your time, make sure that he's up to. Okay, we got June in the building.
Hey man, I got bro.
Here we go.
No, that stuff that was unacceptable, bro. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt your groove.
No. I was in no groove. My mood is right there on the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, we've seen this face from Cade, all too many times. But
go ahead. Last night, right at the end of the first quarter, I said another 40-point quarter. The score was like 39-13.
It was bad. It was real bad.
It was bad from the jump. You cannot play bad defense, turn the ball over, and not hit shots versus a team that's on fire like the Knicks was.
And it's crazy because we shot 50% from the field, and I couldn't even believe it because it just felt like we weren't, but we just couldn't stop a cold last night. I think they shot like 50+% from the field, obviously. Let me pull it up real quick.
How many did old boy hit last night? The point.
Brunson had 36.
Yeah.
And Towns had 21. And they were like staggering them. They weren't even playing together for a lot of the game.
No.
So they shot 50. They only shot 51% from the field, but they hit a boatload of threes. They shot 48% from three.
McBride was getting down. How many did he have?
Kind of. It seemed like he was, but he only had 10. He shot 2 of 8 from three.
He hit some timely buckets like that expanded their lead, and it was like, come on, bro.
Because a couple times, because I was waiting for us to cut it under 20. Sadly, I was,
I was waiting for it to get under 20. Yes, it got to 23. It got to 20 at one point, and then it would balloon right. It would go right back up to 30. It would be 28.
We just couldn't stop them. We kind of saw the writing on the wall in the preseason that we need a SAR out there to guard a Brunson. I think that because they like to put, Brunson's like 6 feet tall. They like to put taller guys on him.
The cuts to the basket, though.
Yeah. I distinctly remember one time where Cade was just completely lost and Bridges was able to cut to the basket on him, but
and Brunson got several cuts to the basket. Josh Hart. I mean, it was crazy. My Mr. My City says final score was misleading. It was way worse,
which is crazy because we were down 30. Like, can you mislead a 30-point loss?
Well, I think I get what he's trying to say. It was just like it looked like we did not belong, and 30 points just doesn't tell the story.
I mean, 30 is a lot of points.
It is, man, but
you're only going to see a handful of those all year long.
Yeah,
I don't know about the Pistons.
I do understand the sentiment, though. I do. It was just
it felt bad.
It felt really, really bad. And it's like to be at home. You can't lose at home by 30.
I mean, yeah, please, like do that on the road when I don't decide to, go to the game because that was.
You were there?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's why you weren't answering. Okay.
Yeah, I was preoccupied a little bit, but I was at the game.
Payday is shaking his head, man. I want to. Hey, bro,
y'all lost to Brooklyn last night. At least we lost to a playoff team.
Whoa! Is that our pay?
Yeah, that's pay, right?
Chicago Bulls.
He doesn't even claim to be a Bulls fan.
I mean, he covers something when he's on the show, right? What?
Yeah, but I think he said that he's not that much of a. I mean, of course he follows them, but I don't think he claims to be a Bulls fan, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, I was around when Pay was tooting Kobe White's on horn, so no, he's a Bulls fan. You're stuck with him, buddy. We don't jump off the Pistons bandwagon. You can't jump off the Bulls bandwagon. You're in a better position than we are.
No, it's funny because you watch the what's the name of our division? I always want to call it NBA Central, but it's not. The Eastern Conference show. They don't like that. Hold on, let's read this. Y'all don't understand. I've been trying to make my kids Pistons fans for years, and they just will not give us nothing to cheer about. My 8-year-old is on board, but the older call them buns. I mean, they are buns. And in their generation, we've only been good, a handful of years. I mean, we've seen a couple generation or eras of solid Pistons.
I gotta ask Mr. My City, how old is your oldest one? Because I have the same situation. Mine is 14. And he's like, no. No,
Oh,
I'm not.
I thought he said the oldest. Oh, the older. Oh, he said the older than 8.
The 8-year-old is on board.
He's on board.
He's gonna
He's seen worse basketball than the older ones.
Yeah.
I mean, well, maybe not, depending on how old they are. But maybe that's not pay. Is that pay?
I don't know. We'll see.
I can't make out what the picture.
Oh wow, he was born in 05, so we won the ship in 04. So
in 04, so he missed. Yeah, he saw the deteriorating.
He's 19. There's no way he's going to buy into the Pistons right now. He's 19. No,
he probably recalls the original Tobias Harris lineup that they won a couple games. The Jackson.
Hey man, I don't care where you at. This younger generation is not going to gravitate. If you even in this area, they're not going to gravitate to the Pistons. They're going to look at the Lakers. They're going to look at the OKCs. They're going to look at the other teams that's doing good. Like it's just different. Like these teenagers, they're going to go with who's hot, whether it's in the city or not. So
I mean, when I was younger.
You didn't have to go through this when you were
I remember the Grant Hill Pistons. I feel like that was the first Pistons that I remember because I was too young to remember the Bad Boys.
But you know what? That Piston era wasn't this bad. It's never gotten this bad.
The teal Grant Hill Pistons were pretty bad though.
They weren't 14-68 bad.
No. I mean, this is historically the worst team amongst the worst teams in NBA history. Not even Pistons we're talking about. So I get that, but even that was just last. Well, I mean, as long as Cade's been here, we've been pretty bad. So.
Yeah, they weren't bad as they were when since Cade's been here. They haven't been. They weren't that bad with Grant Hill, and then there was Grant Hill was everything as a rookie, so it was like.
Yeah,
there was hope, and then the following year they were pretty decent.
Yeah,
his second year. So, yeah, it's boy, it's been rough.
Let's take another break. I would have been off here if you.
Man, you wasn't getting away this easy. Let's go. Go ahead.
Let's see here.
False. I had every intention of doing one of these this morning.
Were you gonna do one?
I was gonna do one. I was sitting here setting up, and I saw you live already, and I was like, and I said, I'll let him rock. I said, nah, B. I got to say,
I was on here about to cry,
Nah, B. I got to say something, man. I was so mad at the end of the first quarter that it really didn't matter what else happened the rest of the game.
And you know what? I strolled in a little late. You see the scoreboards like up, I'm like, dang, we already getting popped like that. So I missed because when you look at the point breakdown, the only disparity that there really was in the first quarter. Yes.
But the problem is with that, Foster, if you're hip to what's going on, which you are, right? If you go down 30, the chances are you're going to lose that game. If you're down 30.
For sure. Like I said, I was hoping that if we can at least get some excitement because it was crickets and Knicks fans. They were chanting MVP for Jalen Brunson at the free throw line. It was a lot of Knicks fans in the building, and I was just hoping that we could kind of cut into the lead a little bit just to give us some energy in the building. But I want to break down the quarters for you.
Okay.
39-13 in the first quarter.
Yes, I remember that.
Like you said, 40 points.
40 points.
But beyond that, 30-33, the Pistons won the second quarter.
Yeah.
35-28. So they started to kind of run away with it, and that's the Knicks advantage.
Yeah.
And then we tie in garbage time with the bench players out there, 24-24 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Not bad. We won a quarter. You would not think that. But you just can't start a game 39-13.
You can't start that first quarter now 39-13.
Now,
just imagine if the score is 39, and let's say we ain't even gonna boost the Detroit line, the Pistons points up in the first quarter that much. Let's say
13. That's
it's
gross.
39-25. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to you're in your mind, you're like, you're only down 14. You can chip away, get it under 10 before half. But it's like when you're saying trying to get it down under 20 before half, what are we doing? We're hoping. This I can understand. I don't even understand this happening in New York, but if it was in the Square Garden, and then it'd be like, okay. And I'd be like, I'd be all right. You lost by 30 in the Garden, but you can't lose in Little Caesars Arena 30 points this early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, it sets a bad precedent for the rest of the year. Certainly the attendance, because it's like, who wants to go to games like this? Like with that in the back of your mind. But
and it wasn't a back-to-back. If it was a back-to-back, then you'd be like, okay, they were a little bit fatigued. This just
right. Yeah, they didn't play last night.
no, it's just bad, bro. It's just bad basketball happening. The Knicks were on fire though. Let's not discredit the Knicks.
Oh yeah, they were amazing.
They did what they needed to do. Mr. My City says at least they can grow up in an era where the Lions are actually good. Yes, and at least tomorrow they get to see the Lions beat Green Bay in Green Bay.
You know what's funny? I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was a person, like just a media personality, but he was talking to his kids, his younger kids, and he was like, "Wow, the Lions are actually good." And the kid looked at him like, "The Lions were bad." Like in this era, the young era, they're not even aware that the Lions were at one time a poverty franchise.
That's
they're
beautiful.
like we were always good, right? Like
yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, I remember the 0-16 Overlowski running out the end zone.
Yeah, that was in 08, my first year of college.
That was horrible. That was horrible. It was like, wow. I remember I was watching that game live, and it was like, really? Like, really?
He was the man at UConn.
He was the man. Strong arm quarterback. He was very good at UConn. He just wasn't it in the NFL.
Yeah, he just wasn't an NFL quarterback. I mean, he wasn't like a high draft pick or anything like that.
No. I mean, he should have been. He was projected to be a good, solid number 2 backup. If something happened, he can get you through a few games, but he was thrown into the fire like to the worst season ever. And then he played. I mean, I don't want to get off on a tangent and stuff like that with the Lions, but
it's certainly not the bad Lions. You know, we want to talk about some good Lions.
Let's talk about some good Lions because we're past that. Troy says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Troy? Hey, Troy, Foster was doing this show, and we didn't communicate at all. It was like I said I was gonna get up this morning, and we need to. I said I need to go off about these Pistons, and then I look, I get an alert, and Foster's already live, so he didn't know I was gonna be here, so I kind of like bombarded my way into the live because I wanted to talk. I needed to vent. So this is why we're here. So the first half of the show, if you're listening, I chime in about 20 minutes. So Mr. My City said, June, we're around the same age, and I'm gonna say this. I cried when we won in 2004. That team was my family. Hey, man. And you know what? And the crazy thing about the 2004 team is it was very, very good, but the Pistons were Eastern Conference champions for a few years after that 2004 team.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, 2005, we were right back there. It was a shot by Robert Horry in the San Antonio game that ruined our chances for a back-to-back.
Wait, you're saying we went to the finals that year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Horry hit a 3 in like game 6 to win, or game 5 to win.
And we were competing with a young LeBron then, weren't we?
Yeah, but that year we was playing San Antonio in the finals.
We probably would have had to beat the Cavs.
Yeah, we beat the Cavs. If it wasn't the Cavs,
it's crazy because that was 20 years ago. If it was 04 and we're in 2024, we are 20 years removed from that championship.
Yeah.
But more recently than the Bulls, though. Hey.
Oh, the Bulls haven't won anything since Michael left. So
since Jordan, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's why, despite the fact that their team has been decently good,
still ain't done shit
in the middle of purgatory, they just can't, because if you want to talk about your kids not witnessing good teams, I mean, they've seen good Bulls teams because you had Luol Deng, Kirk Heinrich, but D Rose, but they haven't had a championship team in ever, because D Rose never got close, did he?
D Rose, they had a first round. They was going crazy against Philly in the first round, and they were up like 20 in a playoff game, and D Rose tore his knee.
Oh, in the playoffs? Wow.
Yeah, and they were up 2-0 after that game, and they lost that series.
Oops.
So, yeah, so that's the closest they've got, I believe. Now,
you said in the playoffs? I mean, you said in the first round this happened?
I don't know if it was the first round, but it was in a playoff series, and they were up against, I believe it was Philly. They was up against. Tibbs was the coach. Tibbs caught a lot of flack for having D Rose in there up 20 in the fourth quarter, and D Rose tore his knee.
Yeah, to this day, he gets a lot of flack for overplaying some of his guys.
Yeah. Here's some stats from Mr. My City. 6 straight conference finals, and I still hate the Spurs and LeBron. Yes, we're on the same page. Same, Mr. Troy says, same, Mr. My City. I don't like Boston, Cleveland, Spurs, none of it. I'm a true diehard, and they are all rivals to me. And Mr. My City agrees and says, Troy, big facts. Yeah. And I also hate the Lakers. So hey,
throw that out there.
Yeah, I just throw that out there. I don't know if they're rivals. Don't like them. Okay. Cleveland. I can't stand Cleveland. I can't stand
the Colonial.
Yeah, the Colonial style houses in Cleveland. I can't stand. I don't have a big grudge against the Bucks, but they were always in the division. I don't know if they changed division breakdown, but for a while back in the day, it was Bucks, Chicago, Indiana, Detroit.
That's Central, yeah. That's the Central division.
It's still the same. So, yeah.
I think, isn't that what called the Central?
Yes.
Yeah, because those are all, Milwaukee, Chicago.
And
those
were all rivals, and, but I have a really serious disdain for Cleveland. And let's see, who else did they say?
Have they lost yet? Or they probably didn't play last night?
They played last night, and they won.
And they won again?
They won again.
I mean, they're good. They have a nice roster.
They played Orlando, and the star didn't play.
Oh, Apollo didn't play?
No, Apollo didn't play.
Let's look at what they had going on. Yeah, you're right. Wagner, both the Wagner brothers played.
And the 06 St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, Tigers. Yeah, that was the one year that the Tigers.
I remember that.
Wow, we got 12 in the building.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happened when June walks in the room. It's like, real.
Like everybody waking up, man. Everybody waking up.
Foster opened the door, but when June walks in, it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I ain't shit.
They don't even watch the Lions like this. This is why.
I ain't shit. I'm just saying.
Shit. As soon as you said they got old. They say what?
I mean, people just getting up. You started early, and see, my thing was I was going to start early and say I'm a surprise Foster. It's going to be a new drop. Foster ain't gonna know about it.
Yeah,
I even started to ask, if you'd have answered last night, I would have said, "Hey, you want to go live at half?" But I said, "No, he's probably into something." And then after it was 39-13, I said, "I'm not going live."
Yeah, I ain't going live. Nah, I was in the building, man.
Okay. Was it packed?
Hell no. It will be at the Lakers game, I'm pretty sure, but I
Ah,
mean, it was it was pretty light crowd. I mean, the one thing about the Detroit sports fans, outside of the Red Wings games be pretty popping. They texting for the tickets, but uh, if the team ain't winning,
yeah.
like the
Well,
Tigers, the Tigers for 75% of the year, it wasn't that many people in the building.
yeah. The Lions though seem to pack the house. No
Yeah,
regard.
and even when we were bad, we used to pack the house. But you got to think, there's only 8 games that we played
Right.
a year, so everybody just goes to, even if we're getting dog walk, there's 8 games for the entire year.
But
So
you know what, Foster? Back in the day, if there were blackouts where
right, but that was Silverdome days. That wasn't happening at Ford Field. I don't believe
I think that was in Ford Field. There was
Ford
some.
Field too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do remember that because I was like,
I used to be mad when they
yeah,
blacked
it's like
the game and you
what,
couldn't
like
watch it.
as
Yeah.
bad as we were, they blacked those games out when they weren't sold out. So.
The key is the thinking, the logic behind it is, oh, you don't want to go to the games? We ain't gonna watch it on, you ain't gonna show it on TV. So you have to go to the game.
Plus, it kind of looks bad. The optics look bad. Like, okay, really, we're televising an empty stadium.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Foster. Troy said something. Let's talk about it. What's going on with all these turnovers? Our core experience has experienced now. There's no more excuses for this. The reason why I stopped Foster in his tracks, the reason why I read this comment is because if you listen to this show, you know me. Turnovers are my pet peeve. You cannot turn the ball over.
That was Monty's fault last year. Is kind of what your sentiments, the accountability, right?
I think yes. I blame the coach when there's a lot of turnovers. Yes, I do.
So
But
we're transferring that blame onto JB Bickerstaff now.
I mean, he's only 5 games in, so I'm not going to do that just right. And then there were some games where they didn't turn the ball over as bad. I'm saying there has to be accountability for taking care of the ball, right? But I also said that this is a different league and a lot of teams turn the ball over. And you know why the coaches don't take the reins? Because as soon as you bench a player, they're going to talk to their agent and get traded out of there. So they can't handle the situation like they usually could back in the day.
But everybody don't turn the ball over now. Like
Cade turns it over a lot.
But that's Cade though. I think that's just Cade. I don't think that if you bench Cade, he stops turning the ball over.
Troy says Cade was one of the most clutch players his rookie year. We need that back. I also saw Beasley make a dumb. I don't have a problem with turnovers. It's just careless turnovers.
We just don't have guys that take care of we just don't. Well, first of all, Beasley is not a ball handler, so I don't even expect him to do much. But we've been calling for getting a veteran point guard since
we've been saying
the draft. Like,
because
right.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut
well, I'll read this and then I do want to finish. I can't remember. Okay, Mr. My City says, to be honest, Troy, Cade wasn't really clutch. We just had no other option. Cade is always gassed in the fourth and shot gets super flat. That's an interesting take. But yeah, we've been asking for a veteran point guard for a while. Right now, they're pretty much playing it where either Cade or Ivy are always on the court. I think they said that 90% of the time, and I don't know about last night because of course there was a lot of garbage time last night and they sat both people, but it says Cunningham and or Ivy have been on the floor for 97.9% of total minutes this season. Last season, it was at 77%. Now, granted, that's early on in the year, and that's probably not sustainable to do. But, I mean, 97.9% of the time, one of those guys were on the court, which all that means is that they don't trust their backup point guard, Sasser. That's all that means. Because I understand staggering them a little bit, but for one of them to be out there for nearly 100% of the game,
why not have the more point guard play more? It's because they don't have.
But Mr. My City says Cade is not a closer. I hate when people say it, but it's true. We don't have a true ball handler. Sad to say it, and I'm gonna catch flack, but Kill was the best ball handler. And
whoa!
I don't know if he was the best ball handler, but he took care of the ball. He took care of the ball. He did. The numbers show it. He took care of the ball. Unfortunately, he just couldn't score, so he wasn't a threat. When you're not a threat to score, you make it more difficult on your other teammates because they all right, go ahead and shoot. We're gonna guard whoever in the corner because we don't have to worry about you scoring. So that was the only thing that stopped Killian from being a 10-year starter, is the fact that because he was a solid passer. He made some amazing passes and played pretty good defense. He just couldn't score to save his life. He was probably the statistically worst offensive point guard, and he was getting like 20 plus points, 20 plus minutes a game too. Like, it's not like he was playing spot minutes. He was starting a lot. Troy said Cade was always a wing growing up. His family moved him to point guard so he could be a number one pick as a big point guard. What? That's possible. Jeez, it's booming.
Yeah.
Welcome to everybody in the building to the Piston rant.
Why don't you all these people in the building? I have to do what is it? Would this be considered a shameless plug? I know the people are here.
This
Make
is our
sure
show.
you to Bleachers to Speakers. Share it, hit the like button, share. Make sure you're following us on all the podcast aggregators. Those are places like Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, and just follow us at Postgame Podcast. Make sure that notification bell is lit, and so when we drop, you'll get the latest. And download those episodes. They don't take up much space. You can erase them later, but download those episodes. Okay. As soon as I start that, they leave. It's like we go from 13.
Yeah. F out of here.
I just messed up the feng shui, man.
We're not doing all that. Okay.
We're not doing that. I just said, hey, but we back. Oh, we back up to 10. We back up to 10. Foster, when is the next game?
Sunday in Brooklyn.
You know what? Brooklyn's been playing okay.
Yeah, they're 3-3. They beat the Bulls.
They almost beat Denver.
They
went to overtime. Yeah.
Wow.
They went to overtime versus Denver.
Yeah. So you mean we don't have an easy win?
No.
do those exist? I mean, do those really exist? They don't.
No. But you know what though? Me and you didn't count this Pistons versus Knicks a win. We were hoping to go 4-6. I know it sounds crazy.
I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting that we kind of knew that it was going to be a tough start.
That first 10, we said that it's a gauntlet,
but we know how starting slow out the gate just crushes the chemistry of the team. Like, it's just when you've been losing, it would be different if you were a decent team. You weather the storm, okay, the brighter days are to come. But when you've been losing so much for the last 3 years, every loss just tears at you that much more. Like, I mean, look at the bench. Like, maybe this was just a bad frame. Maybe this is just a bad, Ivy's wiping his face. He's not really, wiping his tears, but he looks sad in that frame right there. You just don't want to start 1-9 because it's like, okay, mentally the season is over, regardless of how tough the first 10 games were. Got to beat the Hawks, got to beat Brooklyn. I think we got the Hornets coming up too. I mean, we got
it's Lakers, Hornets, Brooklyn, Atlanta, and you got to win 3 out of these 4 to get where me and Foster said we would be at 4-6.
We beat Philly. Philly was one of those teams that we didn't bet on.
Well, actually, before it was 4-6, we said it was 3-7 at the, before we would go 3-7 because we were thinking Embiid and PG would be there. So we didn't count the Philly game as a win for these first 10 games. So me and Foster projected that the Pistons would go 3-7 their first 10 games because of how tough the schedule was for the first 10 games. Now, if you want to look at it that way, it's still on par to go with 3-7. It could still possibly happen. Maybe go 4-6 if you win the 3 out of the 4, like we mentioned. So it's, it looks bad, but we kind of expected this first 10 games to be rough.
Yeah,
but they've been competitive.
I was going to say the games have been close.
Yeah, until last night, the games were competitive. The game versus Indiana, they probably should have won that game.
Man, that game made me mad.
I think the most, besides the Knicks game, it was that lowly city of Cleveland's game.
Yeah, I was like, Cleveland they
kind of kept us at bay, 10, 15 points the whole game.
It wasn't 30, but it was a good 10 to 15.
It was a decisive win, but it wasn't a blowout. It was like, okay, they kept us at bay. But Mr. My City said, let's just get to 2 wins first. Absolutely.
Keep it in perspective. Let's get the second.
I don't think that win number 2 is going to come versus the Lakers. That hurts my back. That hurts.
I don't know. The mighty Bronny James we might catch him lacking.
Foster, you're such a I just don't know.
We play the Lakers. We tend to play the Lakers pretty tough, and we tend to play the Warriors pretty tough.
The way that Anthony Davis is playing right now.
Oh boy. Okay, never mind.
And all LeBron has to do is chip in a little bit, and more than likely versus us, he's going to do more than chip in.
Let's read this. Troy says every team looks at us as a free win. Did y'all hear Jaylen Brown say they don't try and just let the role players go off against the Pistons? We are a joke to the NBA. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard went off and normally does go off. I mean, that's pretty sad, but I mean, that's what they used to say about the Lions. I mean, do you want to be looked at as the laughingstock of the league? Like, you have choices in the matter. Mr. My City says, yeah, no one takes us serious at all. I just don't want to see MFers laughing at us. No, I don't know why I try to censor it, but I do. I be wanting to uplick to the screen. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ready to crash on the flatty.
do not shoot the flatty, man. There's other games. You still have to watch the Lions, so let's keep it all in perspective.
Yeah, we had the Lions, Tigers too. I love that the Tigers have contributed because they were another team that people said, oh, well, at least we got the Lions. There was no talk about the Tigers until halfway through the year. So,
so the game versus the Lakers is what, Monday or Sunday?
Monday. So it's a back-to-back. We got Brooklyn in Brooklyn on Sunday, and then we fly home and play the Lakers at home.
Okay, so we got the Lions that play at 4:30 tomorrow, and I take it that the Pistons play at 7.
I'm not sure about that. Actually, we play. Oh, was that flex to a 4 o'clock? You said the Lions game is flex to a 4,
yeah,
or did you say 1?
It's at 4:30.
Okay, so that's at 4:30. So I don't know why I want to say the Pistons play at 3:30.
3. Damn.
It's 3?
Yeah, it's 3.
Pistons, yeah, I figured it was I saw somewhere that it was 3 something.
So check this out. For those that are watching, we are going to do a Lions show pregame before the game tomorrow. It will not be after 1 o'clock. It'll probably be before noon.
Yeah, it'll be before.
You don't want to interrupt football.
Right.
Not that we're going to interrupt football. We don't want to interrupt you while you want to watch.
Yeah, because something tells me Fox 2 is not waiting for us to finish.
They're not worried about us. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, the people that we have people like Troy tunes in at just about every time. Mr. My City, I'm glad you're here. I thank you and anybody else that's watching. I appreciate it. But we know people like to watch sports, not just the Lions and hear about the Pistons. So sports fans overall. So we try to make sure we show a show before any of the football starts. But we'll do a pregame Sunday around before noon. We'll be done before 1, so it won't go spill into the football games, and then we'll do a show after the game, the Lions game. So unless Foster crashes out or something like that, we'll do a live show right after the game. So check us out. We appreciate you guys for being here. And we're gonna keep on doing it. It's stuff like this, like when I see all the viewers and this, that, and other, the participants, that makes me want to continue to do this. Because like I said, we were doing this when we didn't get any attention, right? So to see this interaction from you guys, it's definitely appreciated. But back to that guy on the right that's sitting there with the vote shirt on in the screen there. Look here, bro. I understand what you're going through. Quit turning the ball over. All right. And it seems like it goes south when Cade's not hitting his shot early. That first quarter, he was off. And they were on. It was that first quarter that just doomed them. Like you pointed out, every single quarter after that was competitive as far as score. But when you already down, 39-13, you're down 26 in the first quarter, where most teams average about 26 points in a quarter. You're down 26 in the first quarter. So you can't start off so slow. I think with a better start, it's a more competitive game, but they were done by the end of the first quarter.
We just need more creation, honestly, because we just need more creation, because it's hard. When you have all these streaky volume shooters, when they're off, they tend to be off together.
All of them.
Yeah, like Tim Hardaway had an amazing, and Tim and Tobias had great fourth quarters against Philly. But Tim shot 2 for 7 from 3, and he has a beautiful shot. It looks like it's going in every time.
Yeah.
And he was wide open in the corner a lot, but it just, for whatever reason, sometimes he's on and sometimes he's off. Beasley was off. Fontecchio played, was better. Ivy had his first bad game of the year.
And Brunson hit every open three he took.
Yeah, he shot 6 for 8 overall, but yeah, if he was open, it was
it was water.
Yeah. And they all were. Not one person was outside of McBride, who still hit some big shots. Everybody was on. Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Towns. Towns is a mammoth of a human. I had that is a gigantic person. And he made Stewart look minuscule. And then Duren, just as big as he is, he just, I don't know. He just, I would love to get into the mind of Jalen Duren of, what is it? What is the deficiency defensively? I understand that it's more, there's more to it than just being big and being able to jump really high. Like in the NBA, there's more to it than that.
You gotta think though, he's very, very green. So hopefully
he's 3 years in now, right?
Yeah, but he was
8, he was 19. Yeah, he was young. He was super
How
young.
old is he now?
I think he's like 20, 21.
Yeah.
He's young.
I
don't have time to wait. Okay.
I don't have time to wait either.
I know you can't even buy a beer, but
I'm going to give him a few more games this season.
So not a few more years. You said he's young. You're gonna give him a few more years. He's
got to grow up. He's had 3 years. He got to grow up fast this season.
No, I agree. And your boy Paul Reed, granted it was in garbage time, but I would love to see him play a little bit more. And I think we see that. He had a block and a couple steals. He's actually, when you think of big men, you don't think of guys that steal the ball, get in the pass lane, but statistically he is like in the top tier of like turnover creation out of that center position. I would love to see him play more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Who else? They emptied the bench yesterday. Everybody played. Jenkins, Moore.
They should have emptied the bench in the second quarter.
Well, yeah.
It was over by then.
People pay to see the stars, so I get
Hey,
that.
I'm just
Stars.
it was a joke. I'm just,
But yeah, I do want to see more Paul Reed out there.
Yeah, and as big as Cat is, Stewart had a couple of blocks on him.
Yeah, I mean Stewart is tough. I mean
He can
he's
block
tough.
shots to look that small at the center position. He has long arms and he blocks.
Yeah, he
shots.
does have long arms. He's just short and he can't really jump. It's killing me that he's not hitting his threes this year. I don't know if they pulled the reins back on him shooting from the outside.
Let him quit practicing. Like, no, you can get down on the block.
Yeah, I mean, but he was one of our better 3-point shooters last year. I mean, you got to think Monte Morris didn't play most of the year. Bogey played about half the year. Stewart was one of our best spacers.
Yeah, it's what are we going to do? I mean, look. I'm not supposed to say that. I wasn't supposed to strike that, dump that, and edit that out.
That was so like, woe is me.
No, dump that. Let's edit that out. Troy says JB is using a lot of different, using guys a lot different than Monty was. I don't know. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I think he was referencing Stu and him not shooting as many threes. I mean, JB has him playing the center position. Monty had him playing the 4.
Okay.
Which I think Stu likes, but because he just likes, getting his hands dirty and playing tough. But I mean, he was a good shooting option. I mean, I guess we don't need 3-point shooters now because we have shooters, but yeah, Stu's role is definitely a little different. He shoots threes here and there, but I don't think the confidence is there anymore.
Ivy is definitely more involved, Troy. He didn't get involved until about 20 games into the season last year. So yeah, definitely Ivy. And like I said, Ivy just had a bad game. Like he had his first bad game of the season. I don't know if it's his first bad game, but he had a bad game.
Yeah, I would say this is his first. He was averaging like 24 points a game, like 23, 24 points a game. So for him to have 12 today or 10, I think he had 10 points today. So pretty bad.
So it's I'm ready to see. I'm ready for tomorrow. What was it? Tomorrow night. Tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I guess it is tomorrow now.
To see what the Pistons do against Brooklyn. So we are definitely going to do. Dang, that's tomorrow. What's your schedule like tomorrow for a pregame or postgame?
I think we can do another just so I mean, not as early as I think one time. What did I say? 10 a.m. one time?
Yeah, I get up super early though.
Yeah. Probably like 10:30, 11. I don't know exactly. But certainly before the 1:00 games.
For sure. We'll figure it out. We got our work cut out for us tomorrow because we got Pistons, we got Lions. Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful day tomorrow. We're gonna get 2 wins for the city.
That'd be the Red Wings either play today or tomorrow. So hopefully the Wings can get a win too.
If the Red Wings play on Sunday, I'm still standing by what I said. We're gonna have 2 wins this weekend. So yeah, that helps my case.
Yeah, can't be.
I can't go 3 for 3. I ain't going. I mean, you can, but I'm not.
I'd like to know how many times we've done that in recent history because all three. I mean, the Lions have done their part in a lot of these Sundays.
Last few years, last couple of years,
because they only play.
You got to remember though that first year, starting off. What was it? What was it?
3-1-3, 3-1-3 and 13.
Yeah.
I'm
talking about the third when they won the last. They went.
When they went like 9-8 or whatever.
Yeah, they won 8 of the last 10, and then from there it went up. So we've had some good football from,
It's been nice.
Yeah,
It's been real nice.
It's been really, really nice, and I can't wait for tomorrow. Troy says, we always appreciate the lives. Win or lose, we will continue to support our teams. Thanks, guys. Go Pistons. That's a gift and a curse, man. Like last year when the Pistons went on that dastardly 28-game losing streak, me and Foster was doing shows saying, watch us win tonight. Watch us win tonight. Watch us win tonight. We're not going to lose 25 in a row. Watch us win tonight. And we stayed upbeat. We still did the show. We still enjoyed doing the show, and we still had support. So
they supported. I was
they
like,
still were here. I mean, the views were crazy. Like for us to be losing like that, the views were crazy. And we just hit the hour mark, Foster. And like I said, I was going to just chime in for a minute. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I mean, they want to watch, obviously. Something else to talk about.
Yeah.
Lions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you. I'm pretty sure you expect to do like a 20-minute show or something like that. So
yeah.
I don't want to disrupt your day, but I think we should close now. I got to get out of here for sure.
Oh, you got to slide. All right, yeah. Yeah. So we appreciate everybody that tuned in. Please subscribe to the YouTube. We do post games every once in a while for the Pistons, but pretty much every Sunday as far as the Lions are concerned. And me and Coach got a show on the Tigers, and it's the off season is starting. We are getting into trades and free agency and winter meetings and all that good stuff. It's a full year grind with the Tigers. But yeah, we had a nice little turnout. Everybody woke up and, decided they wanted to see us crap all over the Pistons. Uh-oh. Okay. We got some more fun facts. Mr. My City says, fun fact, last time was September 23rd, 2019. Lions, Wings, and Tigers all won on the same day. Wow. Because that's like that time where the Tigers are still playing early in the year. Wow. Okay. 2019. That's kind of sad.
It's kind of sad.
But the Lions only play once a week, so it had to be a Sunday. Or it could have been a Thursday, but likely not a Thursday. Were they doing Thursday night games back in 2019? Maybe not.
I don't know.
But yeah. So we'll have to look up and see if the Wings play on Sunday, because that'd be kind of cool to see us win 3.
We're gonna start covering the Wings, right?
I don't know. It's hard to do because there's so many sports at one time.
Well, we had someone that was gonna cover the Wings for.
We've had people speculate or inquire about it. I say that.
Okay, so this is what if you're watching, if you're listening, if you're interested in doing a Red Wings podcast, get with us. We would love to have you on our channel. We'd love to have you on our platform. We'll set it up nice so you can have your own platform and show. So yeah, you can do what me and Foster do. We can, you can have your own show, build your own audience, build your own fan base. You know what I'm saying? It's a good starter type thing. Mr. My City says, y'all be cool. Everybody else like and subscribe. Turn them notifications on too. Hey man, we got to give Mr. My City a job. We need to. We need more like you. Like, share, subscribe. Foster, you got any last words before you get out of here? Or did you want to stay on? I know I have to go.
Nah, we wrapping up. We wrapping up. Yeah, we wrapping up. Let's get up out of here.
Yeah, man. Subscribe to Bleachers to Speeches on YouTube. There's one more comment. Let me put that. I've always been I've become a big Wings fan. Their games are so fun to go to. Yes, they are. If you haven't experienced a Red Wings game, please go. Please go. And with that note being said, we out here, Foster.
Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back.